Oh, Mammon is here today. So, in my good evening or good afternoon, sorry, everybody. So, in my previous class, I have taught you, or we have started with Android radio button. So, I told you how to add a single radio button and the radio buttons with the help of radio group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I told you how you can add a dynamic radio button. So if you have to add a dynamic radio button, we are using this particular library of, Android, and then we are using this method in Java main activity file, okay, where we have to add all these things which I have taught you in my previous class. How are you doing, Mr. Mammon?
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. All good?
Who's here? Ondini and Carlos?
Yeah.
I'm doing okay.
How are you doing?
Doing good, Mon? You doing good?
So we went through the example of dynamic radio button in my previous class. Today we will go through Android custom radio buttons, how we can, change the, you can say color, or you can say the image, or you can say whatever the things we can add in a radio button. So that's called as custom radio button. So how do you do that, and how we can add a custom button in an Android application? Today we are going to learn that. In my previous class, this was the dynamic radio buttons, which was for male and female, and you can run it up using your emulator, Android application emulator. You will have the emulator here. So what about the other students? Are they going to join? Mr. Mama, you can watch the videos of previous classes on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so you can go through it. We are going smoothly now, step by step, and we are on Android widgets right now. So you can see the application here. It's turned on. Not, what's the problem? I can run it again. Here we go. This is the previous example of Android or aiding Android dynamic radio buttons, male and female, like this. It's going to give you the toast here. And we we just modified only the main activity Java file. We have not added anything in the activity.main.xml file. So let's go and move further. Today, our first topic will be how to add Android custom radio buttons. Button. This will be our today's first topic. Underline it and clear the text. So rather than the default user interface, the interface that we have by default, which is like a blank, you know, button like this, the circular one. Just hold on a sec. Yep. So rather than having your default radio buttons, so we can have our different user interface of a radio button. So rather than default user interface of a radio button, we can also add a custom radio button. So custom radio button makes user interface more attractive than the default one. So let's go and see the example of custom button. About this Android dynamic button, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna copy the whole code over here and I'm gonna put it here in your radio button. Dynamic, and now example of custom button is here. So what we need to do is, first of all, we will just go and modify the, first of all, the steps are here. We'll create a new project, with the name, Android custom radio button. Secondly, we will go and modify the activity main.xml file, and then thirdly, we have to modify our custom. We are going to add our new, or we will add a new XML file to add the custom, you know, radio button. So we'll add a new XML file so that we can just go ahead and, you know, add the custom radio button over there. And in the last one, we have to modify our activity, main activity dot Java file. So these are the 4 steps through which we have to go. So first of all, what we are going to do, we will create a project with the name Android custom radio button. Secondly, we are going to modify our inbuilt activity main file, but we have to create another particular, you know, XML file where we can add our custom radio button. And then we have to modify our own inbuilt main activity Java file. So let's go ahead and do these 4 things. I'll just minimize it here. So file, new project.
Just 1 minute
Yep.
to write it.
You want to write it?
Yep.
Okay. So these are the,
I'm recording this video, but I wanna.
no problem. I'm recording it, yeah. When you're done with writing, please let me know.
Yep.
Carlos, would you please once again message in the group and inform them to join the class today? Mr. Carlos, are you listening?
I just did it.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Done?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I will go and create a new project now. And it's here an empty, I always choose the empty activity. So click on empty activity and next. And then I'm gonna name this application, oh sorry, Control Z. I did lot, oh my gosh. So the name of my application should be Android Custom Button. So this is Android Custom Button, and here make sure that the language is Java, and make sure that you have choose the SDK, Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich, and finish it. It's gonna load the project at the same time. And here we go. This is our main project. I will close the previous one. I don't need this. I will just disconnect it. Yep, here we go. So this is our main activity. By default, activity main.xml file will be there and main activity.java file will be there. So as we have created the project, the first step is done. Next thing is we have to modify the activity main.xml file, right? So we'll click over here and it's constant layout. I am not going to use, there are different layouts which I've already told you. So there right now I'm going to use linear layout. So linear layout will automatically come. So helping words are always very good for Android development. So you do not have to type all the words. You just will type one or two. It will give you the options. Like I just typed LIN and linear layout is there. Just hit enter and it will change on both the both the places for the opening tag and closing tag. And these are the inbuilt attributes that we never have to change. They will be same, but here I have to add an attribute which is orientation. So if you have to add an attribute, always Android. So Android means this is for Android application. So Android attribute, then the same way like we did in CSS. So for example, we have to add orientation. So orientation is here. So I want, there are two types of orientations, vertical, horizontal. I want this to be a vertical orientation. And that's it. Next thing is text view. Always this will be as it is, but I am going to add, first of all, the attribute which is ID. So Android ID and add the rate, it's TV. That's it. And here I'm going to change width to fill parent, not wrap content. So fill parent is here. Then after that, this is wrap content. And then I'm going to change the properties, like I'm going to add one more attribute, which is layout margin top. So Android layout margin top is here. And I will put it equal to 30 dp. So this is very important, placing the placing the graphics on a particular location. It's very difficult task. You need to have accurate, margin set, padding set, everything should be accurate. Then next property is gravity. So Android what happened? Android, it's gravity, not layout gravity, just gravity, center horizontal. And then after that, text size. So Android, another property is text size. So it's going to be 25 dp. That's it. And sizes here, I'm going to change it. Instead of hello world, I'm going to make it as customized radio buttons. That's it. And rest of the things we don't need, I am going to remove them from here for this. So that's a text view. Now this was just a view, text view. It's going to just show us customized radio buttons. Now next thing is, from here I am going to add the customized radio buttons. So hopefully you need the pictures and something like that. I'm going to tell you. So first of all, if you have to add the customized buttons, I told you, first of all, we have to add the radio group. And radio group, first property layout width should be wrap content. Second property height, it should be wrap content. And the third one should be Android ID. Sorry, it's Android ID. So helping words you can use at the rate. So radio group, GROUP group. That's it. We do not have to use this particular tag to close it. We have to create open and closing tag like this. So this is like a division that we had in website development. So if you have to add any radio buttons, you have to add them within this group. This is a radio group division in Android application development. So whenever you have to add radio buttons, first of all, you need to add this particular, interface or widget. Within it, we can add the radio button. So now we have the radio group here. Now we can add radio button inside it. So we can say our radio button here. And again, here I'm going to use fill parent, and this will be always wrap content. But before that, we have Android ID, the first attribute, always, because ID will be useful while creating any particular method or any activity or any event on it. So radio mail, I'm gonna name it as radio mail. Fill parent is the width and height is wrap content. Then text, so if you have to add the text in it, so Android, simply you're going to use the attribute text and you're going to type simply mail. Give a space here so that there will be space displayed in the application also, the button and the space, then mail. So then Android, again, the layout of this. So Android layout margin top, it's going to be 10 dp. And after that, Android, I told you there are two states of a button, Android checked and unchecked. So there should be checked is an attribute which will help us, so that you can set it as a true or false. False means it should not be checked. So if you set it true, that means it will be by default checked. Remember one thing, I mean this thing, Android, then button attribute, and at the rate map. By default, I am going to just use IC Launcher. I will just download an image. You need to have an image for that. So button, what is the button all about? This property is going to help you to add an image of the custom image you have. So these all the images we have inside res and map IC Launcher here. These are all the images. Suppose that you want to have your own image. I'm going to tell you later on this thing, but by default, I have added IC launcher.ping here. So there is no need to, give the extension of the image over here. By default, all the images are ping. So you do not have to type in here .ping. So just map, this is the path that I'm giving. So remember this thing, this is under map, and these are all the images that we do have. So IC launcher is the images, or these are images, and they're having different versions: HDPI, MDPI, XHDPI. So all the versions are here. So then let it be as it is. We are going to download a button so that I can replace it. I'm going to show you how to replace that. Android, then text size is another particular attribute. So it's going to be now 20 dp, and then we can close. That's one radio button. So another radio button I'm going to add, but I do not need to type all these things once again. I will just be smart and copy and paste. Now what I have to do is I just need to change the ID, because ID can never be same for both the buttons. So radio female, then here fill parent wrap, and here you have to change it to female. So just add FE before MALE. So then margin on top, it should be 20 dB now. To give more space, 20 dp. And then again, check should be false. Again here, IC launcher and image. And again, text size is 20 dB. But we have to replace these images. I'm going to show you how to replace them later on. Okay. Then that's it. And we have to come out from our radio group. These are two buttons that I have added, and then submit button, or you can say, a method when you click on submit button. So we have to add a button in the form, something like that. So both the places wrap content, and then Android text, what should be the text inside the button. So if you have to do that, Android text here. So Android text is like show, or you can say display selected. Then Android ID. Android ID is always an important thing that you need to always add. So @ID plus, so I can name it as button simply. And then method, which we're going to create in Android in main Java file. So method on click, and I'm going to name it as on click button method. So this is the method that we have to create. It's going to give you the red sign underline, because we have not created it yet, but when we create it, automatically it will change. So Android layout gravity, it should be center horizontal. That's it, class, and we are done with the X activity main.xml file. So now, before going ahead and create our own custom radio button, I am going to open my browser, and I will add a tab here, and I will go to google.com. I will search for some images like ping images. So radio button, images. So I will have my own custom image that I would like to add. Wait a sec. Like this one. I will save it as ping because we want all the formats in the ping shape. So file, save as. Why you have to save it? You have to save it in documents, Android, where are Android? What? We don't have Android projects here.
So you can just download, save, just keep it in the downloads and just open Android Studio and drag it into Android Studio. It's just easier like that.
Drag it. Okay.
Yeah, just drag it into Android Studio.
Wait a sec. So that's radio button. It didn't came.
Should be right on top of it. Then just do the usual way that you did it. And
It's not working. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same there. No problem. So
it worked for me for some reason.
Android custom radio button, Android projects. So I'll go here and go to this PC, users, administrator, and you will have Android projects here. And we are working on Android custom radio button. We have to go to app, and then we have to go to source, then main, then res, and here is this mipmap HDPI. So these are already the images I see launcher, and this I will just paste my even here. So this is a radio button dot ping. So let me rename it to just all small radio button. That's it. And when you close it and go to Android particular application, you will have it automatically here. You can see, but it's under radio button dot this round. HDPI. Wait a sec. Wait a sec. Wait a sec.
Yeah, it's changing.
So administrator, custom check app, source, main res. Was it here or SDMDPI? Yeah, we need to add it. Checkboxes here. IC launcher round. No problem. So it's there. We can just edit. Let's say now whether it's going to come or not. Yep, here is it. It will automatically come and you will add. Okay, it will give you the helping word. So you can see radio button came here. So you'll insert it. And in the same way, just try to, it should come automatically when you just, give a slash. What happened now? Yep, radio button here. That's it. So that's the radio button. Whether it's going to be here or here doesn't matter. So all are in the directory of mipmap. So @mipmap for / then radio button. All right. So on click method we have not created. So let's go ahead, and next step that we have to do very quickly, we have to add our own new XML file to add the customs radio button. So what we have to do is, I will go to this res layout, which is activity main layout, right click over here. Always remember, when you have to add another layout file, this is activity.main, so it's under activity main.xml here. So right click over here, name, this is XML here, layout.xml file, and it should be layout, and name it as custom radio button. That's it, and finish it. You will have linear layout here, but we do not have to go with the linear layout. We just have to add a selector, which is going to help us to select. So SELECTOR, like we did in our previous class. These things will be same: Android HTTP this, Android layout match parent. Now you can remove these match parents and all. We don't need this, but we have to add the two things, which is item Android state ANDR. So state checked is equal to true. It should be true. And also Android drawable okay, equals to @drawable checked radio button. That's it. And again, these are two buttons, so we'll add it 2 times. Unchecked radio button. Just a sec. Yep. And here also, that should be false now. When you go to unchecked, it should be false, because true is when it's going to be checked. And if it's unchecked, that means it should be false here. That's it. That's all what we have to do. So there's no need to add this thing here. Layout height and width should be Control-Z. Let it be as it is. So this is the thing that we have to, add as a custom radio button item. Android state checked is true. Then Android drawable should be checked radio button and unchecked radio button. That's it. And in the main activity.java file, what we have to do, we just need to add the bundles. All the bundles are here. OS bundles, they have view, radio button, radio group, and toast. I guess they are already here. And then we have to add some public variables. So with the help of all the classes that we have used, all the widgets that we have used button. So button is here. We have to add one variable using the data type button. So button is there. And then after that, radio button is there. So with the help of radio button, we will create gender radio button. All right, and after that, radio group we have used in our main Java file. I mean, in our XML file, we have used radio group. So I will create one variable for radio group also. That's it. That's it. All right, so these are 3 variables that we have created. It's a very simple thing. What we have to do now is we'll go to main file here. So we'll just go and make it equal. So radio group is equal to, with the help of radio group, we will use the attribute method find view by ID. So it's find view by ID. So you know that everything is inside the class R ID, sorry, ID dot radio, sorry, it should be small. So radio group here. That's it. And we'll come out from this. This is the main onCreate method. And now we will create this method, which is onClick button method. I will copy it to make sure that I have created this method. So in order to create the method, it should be public. So public, it should return void and paste this. And as you know, we create the method with an attribute view v. Okay, and then int, as we have used selector, so I'm going to use the variable select id equals to radio group, this one, dot get checked radio button id. It's a method that we are going to use. And then after that, gender, which we have already used. So gender radio button is another variable, which is gender radio button here. So it's equal to simply radio, sorry. We have 4 minutes. I hope we'll complete it in. So radio button, not radio group. It should be radio button. And same like what we did before, find view by ID, selected ID, which is the variable just we have created here. So this selected ID, whatever is there, it will be stored in gender radio. Next thing is, now I'm going to use if selected ID, now based on selected ID, if selected ID is equal to -1, sorry, what I'm going to do is I have to show that toast is notification that I have told Mr. Carlos. So toast is a notification whenever you get the notification in Android applications. It's because of this particular class, which is toast.
Yep.
So toast make text main activity. So main activity dot this, yep, and comma, we can say nothing selected here. Nothing is selected. If we are not going to select any radio button, it should show nothing selected. And then if you have to choose the time of toast, we use toast.length. If you want for longer time to be the notification to be shown or to be displayed, we can use length long. Otherwise, we can use length short, but I will use length long. And then bracket close dot show is a method which is going to display that. That's it. Else, we can say toast dot make text main activity this, and gender radio button, which we have created, dot get text, comma. So whatever the text is in the radio button is going to display that. So toast length log, again, close it with the bracket, and show is the method with the help of we are going to show it. That's it, Khalas. And we have here the problem. What's the problem here? View. Oh, yep. So it is just because we have not added the bundle view here. We just need to add or import Android dot widget, no, Android dot view dot capital view. That's it. And at the same time, you will see this error is deleted. All right, it's now visible now. And with this, we have completed our application, and now it's the time. You can see here also there is no error now. It's not showing the error because the method is created already and it's linked. And now it's the time to, you know, go and check the output of our file. We'll go and just click on run app, and we'll see the output of our. Here is a problem. We have Android drawable checked radio button not found. We have one issue, drawable checked radio.
Same.
You have the
I
same
have the
error?
same issue. Yeah.
Oh, drawable.
Maybe we have to put in the ones that we put in, like the checked and the unchecked ones.
So
Isn't
you
it
can
drop?
replace. You can replace with yes, this radio button.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Let's check it with radio button, and here also the same radio.